join me for the next 24 hours here at Thorpe Lea Fisheries. Now, I've fished this a lot in the past before, but it's been a long time since I last visited. I'm really excited as I've got 24 hours ahead of me. The weather conditions are looking great. Time is against me though, and I'm hoping to bag myself a few good carp. I've just checked in, I've just arrived, and before I head on round to the swim for a 10 o'clock start, I'm going to knock up some bait in the back of the van, and then I'm going to dip my nets, mat, and retainer before I head on round and get set up. Tactics I'm going to keep very, very simple, and I'll go into a little bit more depth throughout the session and how I'm getting on. But yeah, stay tuned, follow me throughout this 24 hours, and hopefully we can grab ourselves a few nice carp. So Thorpe Lea operates a booking system, and we're not booked on till 10 o'clock. It's about 9:30 now. I've already arrived, but because I've only got 24 hours, I'm going to knock up my bait in the car park. I'm only going to do a little bit of what I think I'm going to need for the session. If I get through it, it means catching loads of fish, and I'm going to have to come back to the van and knock up some more. But because time is up against me, yesterday at the unit, I crumbed up loads and loads of boilie. This is a boilie and pellet water only. There's a lot of wildlife here, and I plan on fishing on top of a gravel bar that is out in the middle of the lake. So no doubt birds and wildlife are going to get to it at some point. So fishing little bits, and I plan to fish solid bags over the top, I think is going to be the absolute winner. So I've crumbed up loads and loads of Prostin boilie. So that's the first thing going into my mix. And then being part of that pellet, and I'm going to be fishing solid bags, I'm using from CC Moore the like PVA bag mix, but then I've also added in loads of variants of pellet. Couple them two together, and then a good glug in of Feed Stim XB over the top is going to be a really, really good attractant. Now, like I said, I'm going to make up only a little bit of bait, enough to get me through the 24 hours, but if I do get through it, then I'm just going to have to pull in the 3 rods, come back around to the van and knock up a load more. Fingers crossed I'll have to do that. So I've just come round to pegs 42, 43. There's a guy just packing up who's just gone, and this whole bank is completely empty, and I'm really surprised about that. So normally Thorpe Lea historically has always been a 2-rod limit. The nice lady in the shop has said that because there's nobody else fishing, that we can fish 3 rods, which is an absolute godsend, and it means that I can spread them out a little bit more. Have someone move in next door to us, then I'm going to have to rethink where I'm fishing. But because there's no one else on this bank, it gives me a little bit more flexibility of where to go. I haven't seen anything yet. I've got time against me, so I think I'm going to start with fishing 3 solid bags, find a spot kind of out towards the middle, but I think I'm going to go for 1 long, 1 a little bit shorter, and then maybe 1 off down to my left-hand side. There's an out of bounds right in the corner, so I'm going to leave that well alone. But where I'm fishing, there's an island directly opposite, and I have a feeling that I'm going to sort of target that middle zone between where I am now and the island. But yeah, 3 rods, 3 different spots. Let's see if we can make something happen. So I am going to fish solid bags this session, but before I find a spot that I want to present on, like I said, time is really up against me, and I want to maximise that 24 hours. I've already got set up on my rods a couple of spinner rigs, so I'm just going to change the hook over really quickly, and a good quick way of doing that is by shrinking down that shrink tube using a lighter. It pulls it in a little bit tighter, it's a lot quicker. And you never know, 3 bright singles out there while I'm getting set up, while I'm finding a proper spot to fish, might just nick me an early bite. So 3 bright singles, 3 pop-ups, out in little spinners, try and nick ourselves an early bite. 2 good firm drops on them spots. I'm fishing 2 singles. I'm feeling confident on them and that they're on clear spots. So that now gives me a little bit of time to be able to spool up my marker and spod rod with a new 40-pound Recon braid that I'm really looking forward to using. We've been working so hard on that, and I'm going to be putting it to good use during this session. So next up, get that spooled up, find a spot at range, maybe one a little bit closer as well, and then get them solid bags knocked up and put onto them spots. A few handfuls of bait over the top, and then we're going to keep working it for the 24 hours. But there we are, rods are now out, rods are fishing. Let's get that marker spod. Let's get that marker spod rod set up. What would be really great right now is to see a fish show, to give me a bit of an idea of where they are and what they're doing. We've got really strange weather at the moment. It's flat calm out there. The sun is shining, but it's also very, very overcast. That being said, you'll see that this new Recon line is bright blue. Now you automatically think against the lake it's probably not going to stand out, but being bright blue, I'll get the camera spun around in a second to show you, but God, it stands out like an absolute sore thumb. It's floating, so it makes feature finding perfect, no stretch, and you can see every single bit of gravel and stone transmitted back through to the rod tip. I can fish it straight through as well, so it eliminates the factor for needing a leader, which is great because I absolutely hate using leaders. I'm rubbish at tying the knots. I'm always having fraps and tangles and problems with it. So having a spod marker braid that I can fish straight through is really, really important to me, and having a significant breaking strain as well that I know that I can fish at range and long distance. I'm not going to have a problem. Here today, Thorpe Lea, I don't envision fishing more than 22 wraps, and this is more than capable of achieving that. So straight through, 40-pound Recon braid, doing the job. Right, let's find a spot and let's get some bait out. That's 3 rods now out on a spot fishing, and a good marker up with the marker rod. Found a lovely spot at 22 wraps out towards a real prominent tree. So it's obvious that someone was fishing there before. I'm going to give it a go for a couple of hours to begin with, but my top tip for like a 24-hour session to begin with is to not get comfortable on one spot or one area. So even though I'm going to be fishing that 22 wrap spot, I'm also going to use my marker rod and try and find something a little bit closer in as well. And then I'm going to use one, because I can use 3 this session, I'm going to use one of the rods as a little bit of a roaming rod and see if I can pick something up. All the while I'm sitting here watching the water as well, just in case a carp gives itself away. Nothing has shown itself yet, but that being said, it won't be long before one of them trips up and gives away where they are. Well, today has just been one of them long, hard, still, hot spring days, and the fish are just not playing ball. I'd refer to them as being, and I've heard the expression before, just in absolute divvy mode. So unfortunately, nothing has come to Vale at the moment. We've tried a couple of different tactics, solid bags, singles to lightly looking areas, and then of course the little baited spot out at range. We've got some dinner on the go, the sun is just dropping behind me. Hopefully the colder temperature coming in this evening will be enough to switch the fish on and bring them down and get them feeding a little bit. But for what was meant to be a great session, and it looked really, really promising this morning, conditions, and I don't want to blame it completely, just have not played ball. We're on fish, I'm pretty sure of that. We've seen a couple of them swimming around. Aaron got the drone up earlier to do a few of the scenic shots, and you could see him just cruising around on the surface, just not really interested. So we're putting all the eggs in one basket tonight. I'm going to fish 3 on one spot at range on a little bit of bait, and I'm pretty confident and hopeful as well that will come good for us with a carp or two tonight. In the meantime, a couple more spoms to go out, only 2 or 3, and let's get some dinner on. Mega carp, just under 25 pound, caught of a solid bag, little pink corn over a baited spot, and I am so impressed with that. If that's all I get in this 24 hours, it's been worth it, because the scale pattern on this is insane. I absolutely love this carp. Very pleased with myself. I'm going to knock up a couple more solid bags. I've managed to get that one straight back out on the spot, and already I've had a couple of liners on it. I have a feeling that the fish in here are travelling around in groups, and I don't think it'll be long before we're into another carp. But for now, under the street lights of the M25, I'm holding my first Thorpe Lea mirror. Right, let's get a little bit of the old carp field dressing applied to its hook hold, and then we're going to slip her back, get back into bed, and then fingers crossed we'll get ourselves another one before the morning. A very good morning, and it certainly is a good morning for me, because so far I've managed 2 more carp. So that's all 3 rods now producing spots, and moments before I caught this one, as the sun was coming up, I had a little 16 pounder, an absolute minter of a mirror. But what was to follow, this guy is insane. You think the scale patterns on the fish that I caught yesterday were incredible. Check out this fully scaled mirror. Didn't even know fish like this resided in this lake. It's just over 20 pound, and I think this carp one day will be a big fish. But I'm going to take the time to admire it right now, because it's my capture, and I am blown away by the quality of the carp that we've seen come through so far. We've only got a couple of hours left this morning, so I'm going to get that cup of tea on, get that kettle on, to make a cup of tea in fact, and sit back, make a couple more solid bags, might have a little top up of bait, and hopefully we can get another one before the end of the session. It's looking good for it. That's 2 in quick succession this morning. Fingers crossed we can get a 3rd. That is it, that is complete. That is the end of a 24-hour session. It is absolutely flown past. Challenging conditions to begin with hot temperatures yesterday and not a breath of wind on the lake. but we managed to prevail, and we had, oh, watch this puddle, we had 3 good fish in the end, including what was like a zipline and a fully scale. So I'm back in the car park, back at the van. There's one thing left to do, that's load the van, thank the guys from Thorpe Lea for having us for the last 24 hours, and it looks like the cafe's just opened, so I'm gonna get myself a bacon and sausage sandwich, and no doubt Aaron, who's behind the camera, also deserves one as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon.